All right, here's the deal. Today is going to be more of a rant video. I know that's coming. I know that's a thing. I know just I'm feeling how I'm tingling that I'm not going to be able to talk about this topic without getting a little mad. But honestly, we haven't had one of these videos in a while. You know, I've actually come to really thoroughly enjoy Dead by Daylight, both sides. I've been playing more Survivor than I ever have, learning flashbangs, flashlights, learning how to moonwalk, do all the slide vaults, all the fun stuff. And on the other side, I'm obviously on Cloud 9, playing Xenomorph, top 4 Xenomorph in the world. Number 4 Xenomorph in the world. And I love going for tail shots. I'm sure you've seen those funny clips that I post sometimes that I love to death. Honestly, the game itself, I have never been more happy playing Dead by Daylight in my life. Like, I literally play this game on and off stream, like, a ton. Tuesday, I accidentally did a 10-hour stream. Accidentally did a 10-hour stream because the vibes are right. So I just kept hitting rematch over and over and over and over and over, and it never stopped. So why am I so mad? Why am I so upset? Because if, like, usually what upsets people, usually what pisses them off about DBD is the game. It's like, this perk's OP, this character's OP, this perk combo is OP, this map is unbalanced. Like, there's something going on DBD's end of things that is people off or frustrating the hell out of them. For me, what has gotten my goat lately, and it's realistically, I know it's not that big of a heckin' deal, right? Like, it's not that crazy. It's not that big of a deal, but it's something that I've noticed that kind of goes unchecked when it comes to other people's chats. But in my chat, it happens to me, and it just triggers me immediately, and it frustrates me to no end. And it's a lack of responsibility on the players and the player and the community's end in DBD that is kind of collectively shared, and it creates this very, very nasty environment. So I know that was a very, very long intro. I'm very, very upset, as you can tell. I'm very amped. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's stop putting off everything. So I've noticed this phenomenon when I'm playing DBD, and I'll tell you, when I play Killer, all right, I've told you guys before, I only lose like once or twice in like a 5-hour play session. I know that's not me bragging. That's just the cause. That's just the truth. That's just the truth. I don't know why I said the cause. It's the truth. That is the truth. I literally only lose like 1, 2, 3 games in like a 5-hour play session of playing Killer. Survivor, obviously, you know, I die a lot. But honestly, in terms of like being camped, tunneled, it doesn't happen that crazy much. Usually it'll happen like maybe once an hour, if that, of gameplay, where you're like usually tunneling will happen, but not directly to me. But like being tunneled or camped directly, like maybe like once or twice every 2 hours. It's not actually that much. And even when these things happen to me, like I get 4-outed. I had a match I was trying to do a daily for a character. I wasn't even playing Xenomorph. I had a match on Father Campbell's Chapel where I got 4-outed. They had like, just setting the scene. They had the God window in main. They had a long wall behind main. They had the long wall, short wall into 2 path pallets into Shack, and Shack is always connected to a tile on Chapel. It was a very disgusting map spawn. So not playing a character that I play, not using a build that was exceptionally strong, fighting a good team, things went very, very poorly. I got 4-outed. I could have confirmed a kill, but at that point, the match had been so frustrating that I just kind of wanted to go for a chase at the end. So I didn't guard hook, and I just chased somebody down until I pushed them out of the exit gate, because I just wanted to chase somebody. I want to have some fun. And at the end of the match, there are multiple people in chat going, "Wow, Brand's finally getting to experience what it's like to suffer in Dead by Daylight. Brand's experiencing the average Killer experience." Same thing when I play Survivor. I will be playing Survivor, and I'm getting tunneled, and I'm just like, okay, I literally will turn around, start moonwalking mid-chase, because I just do not care enough that I'm being tunneled. I give 0 shits that I'm being tunneled. Absolutely not a care in the world. I'm just like, okay, you're gonna tunnel me? Dude, start doing my little dance. But there's always somebody when I'm getting tunneled that comes out of the woodwork in my Twitch chat that's like, I got tunneled the other day, and this doctor was the most frustrating human being on the planet, and it just made me feel like so much crap. And they're literally posting a wall, like their life fucking story in my chat. about this doctor from like 2 days ago. Like literally 48 hours have passed since this event. And this homie's writing his manifesto. Like he's writing, like he's trying to like their therapist gave them like a project. Like, hey, write down your feelings about what happened 2 days ago and come back to me. Like writing this big fucking essay about how traumatized they were from getting tunneled in a video game 2 days ago. Every time. Meanwhile, I'm just I'm moonwalking. But then these people just start like trauma dumping in my chat. And it's trauma dumping over a video game. I'm minding my own business. I don't care. I'm not affected by this. So I get 4 outed. Yeah, am I not having the best time? Yeah, because losing doesn't feel good. But like, it's one game. Up until that point in that stream, I had played 2.5 hours, not lost a single game. Once again, really strong map solve, really strong map, really strong main building, really good theme, not playing the character I usually play. Like, my brain's like, well, that probably makes sense that I'm not going to do well. Would I still like to? Yeah. But like, you know, if you look at the variables, not in my corner. Not in my corner makes sense. But then everybody's like, wow, Brand's finally understanding what it's like to play killer. First off, if you are experiencing a 4-man out almost every single game, you're dog shit at the video game. You fucking suck and you're not putting in the effort. That or you don't have the time to, which is still a fact you need to accept. Are you not running very, very strong builds? I know I wasn't in that match. So I'm not going to be like, oh, wow, DBD sucks because I am not playing my main character. I'm not running a strong build. The map is really good. I'm not going to freak out and be pissed shitty about the whole video game because things aligned against me. That happens. It's the nature of the game. How have you played DBD this long and you don't know that sometimes bad stuff's going to happen that is out of your control? And B, why do you internalize it so much? That like the moment you see me go through something that like kind of sucks in the game, that you have a 5-page essay ready about how traumatizing it was to go through checks notes, getting attacked back to back in a video game where there's opposing sides, or losing entirely on one side of the game. That's it. That's what's traumatizing to you. That's what you have a 5-page essay ready for. I think there is a collective problem in this community of us just okaying this level of just complete overreaction to bad things happening in the game. Like, yeah, getting tunnel doesn't feel good. It's kind of boring, right? You don't get to play the rest of the game, even though you are technically chasing. Like, you know, like sometimes I like just sitting on a gen. Sometimes I like just moonwalking and minding my own business. Sometimes I'm like, I think I'm gonna go for the saves and play a little altruistically. Like, you know, like I don't get to do any of that other stuff. So it does suck. Yeah, not too fun. But if you're out here like so upset, so bent out of shape, that you're internalizing that and constantly needing to vent in streamers' chats about your negative experiences, why are you playing this game so much if something bad happening in this game adversely affects you to that extreme of a matter? I've played games before that I was really excited to play. Usually it's tied to like an IP I like, and I'm just like, I play that game and I'm like, that sucked. I hated that. I am not having a good time. So I stop investing in the game. I stop playing the video game. I go, that's not for me. That is not for me. I don't know why I have to tell people this. If you are so bent out of shape by being tunneled that the moment you see a streamer or someone else go through the same, that you're like, yeah, man, that happened to me. I was in the trenches and I also got tunneled. And, you know, I had to go to rehab for 30 fucking years to be able to see straight again and enter another solo queue match. Like, you gotta fucking get off this shit. You do. This is not it for you. Because that creates a collective environment of shitty, whining babies all the time. This is a video game to be played for fun. not for you to form a trauma group over like somebody running around your hook and not leaving you after you're hooked. Like that is not a natural response to the things happening in the video game. It's really not. It's really not. I'm not saying we don't. Somebody's gonna already in the comments. Somebody's already in the comments like, well, so we shouldn't worry about camping tunneling. We shouldn't worry about, you know, really overpowered maps. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm clearly not saying that. I never said that. It's just throwing that out there. We should always try to, you know, make the game as, you know, from a quality of life perspective, from a balance perspective, as nice on people as it can be. But these people, like, it's funny. I'll go into a lot of late night streams, and I know late night killer streams. You know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. Late night killer streams, big streamers, 8 to, you know, 1,000, 3,000 viewers. And I watch the chat. I watch the chat. And it goes down. Anytime they slightly don't do well. And you know, we do the match reviews on Monday. That never leaves my brain. I'm always doing that in the back of my head. Even if I don't, like, it's not intentional. It's just kind of like, I'm noticing, hey, he's spending too long in this chase. Hey, his macro game is kind of lacking. Hey, he didn't really know how to counteract this perk very well. All I see on the right side of the chat is like trauma dumping from like every person. These are how all my killer games go. These survivors are so sweaty and so frustrating. Like it's just a collective trauma dump. And how's the streamer reacting? The streamer is reacting because they're embarrassed that they're losing on stream. So instead of realizing that maybe they're making mistakes and doing the mature thing and saying, hey, maybe I'm making some mistakes. Maybe I am not playing this as efficiently as I could. They start leaning into that and they start, you know, encouraging that. They start feeding it. It's like, yeah, these survivors are so sweaty and then, you know, the Dead by Daylight is just so unbalanced, and they start feeding it. They start feeding it. Everybody just starts collectively like entering this just like crybaby fucking piss and wine zone instead of just going, maybe there's something I could have done there, and even if there was nothing I could have done, it's not that big of a deal. That is where I depart from you. Was there something I could have done better? If not, oh well, it's not that big of a deal. That is the healthy response to things going on in Dead by Daylight. But instead, people like to just get in these collective whining zones and just create just this very miserable environment. Super turbo miserable environment, and it creates it's an enabling thing, because then they come to my streams where I know that, like, yeah, you know, if you get tunneled, you know, and you're mad about it, like, sure. Yeah, tell me about it. Like, I'm like, yeah, that sucks, brother. But if you're coming in here all the time, you're doing it frequently, you're creating a negative environment in general for the community. And it's irresponsible. Because that's why that's part of the reason everybody hate games. Like, hate plays this game. Because we have created such an environment that just enables and okays. If you're having a terrible time playing this game, keep playing it. The game's just BS. It's the game's fault. Just cry and whine and keep hitting that rematch button. Like I said, part of it's on the streamers. Streamers not wanting to admit that they could have done better, so they just lean into it. Part of it's on streamers for just letting it happen in the first place. I shut that stuff down when it happens in my stream. I'm like, okay, we get, like they will literally send, like, I have my little chat box here. Hopefully, here, hold on. Maybe I could put this on screen real quick. Okay, so this is the size of my chat box, right? You see that's about as much space as I have, right? There will be people sending messages that clog up that entire page. Like, this entire box, it will be filled with a singular message. This entire box will be filled with a singular message of someone complaining about their experience. And I'm like, I'll be running around chasing somebody as Xenomorph, or I'll be trying to run from the killers playing Survivor, and they're like, stop and read my 13-page essay about how bad of a time I'm having in Dead by Daylight. How are we getting to this point that you are so upset at the game that you don't stop and think, why am I writing like covering this entire chat box with a whole message because I'm that tilted? And I'm just going to dive back in and rematch and just like, maybe it doesn't occur to you at all. Maybe I'm taking this a little too seriously. Maybe I'm putting too much emotional energy into this. Nope, doesn't even occur to you at all. You're just like, yeah, that's fine. How did we get to this point where we don't connect? That is, you're giving this game way too much energy. I don't know. This rant is already really, really long, and I'm not done. Honestly, like, I could go about this forever, but it's already the thing down there says that we're already like pushing 15. So if I'm trying to TLDR this in any sort of way and wrap this up, is something I said in the middle is your response to very bad things happening in this game, getting screwed over by add-ons, items, map spawn, something like that. Your response should be, that sucks, but is there something I could have done better? And if you go through that entire list of things that you could possibly have done better, and it's like, nah, it really was just RNG, it really was just like a sweaty 4-man bringing you to Garden of Joy, and they had like 4 BNP, so like, what are you supposed to do? Then then the next step should be, oh, well, that's only one game, it's not that big of a deal, like, it's frustrating, but it happens. I can't let that hit my core. Because that's what I'm seeing in the Dead by Daylight community, which is one of the things that makes it a miserable place to be, is everybody takes everything so fucking personally and takes everything to their core. And it's just, I wish that we had a more mature community. I wish we had a more mature community, emotionally mature community. Name it. I wish it was a more emotionally mature community that could handle the not so fun aspects of this game a little bit better. And they just don't. Instead, they make a big stink out about it, and they make it the most catastrophic thing that could have possibly happened to them in this week that they have existed this week. It's this tunneling event really just ruined my week. Like, the game is not that deep. Like I said, was there anything I could have done to stop it? No. Well, good thing it's an infinitely repeating game, and it's not that big of a deal. I wish more people had that mentality. I wish more people had that. I wish more people in our community, both streamers and friends alike, would hold our fellow community members accountable and not let them just fly off the handle like that every single time there's something they don't like. That's one of the main things that made me enjoy playing Survivor. I know I said this rant was gonna end. This will be the last thing I say. This is one of the things that made me enjoy playing Survivor again. I played with a lot of people who did nothing but nonstop bitch the entire fucking time they played the game. They did nothing from start to finish. We would play for like 4 or 5 hours, start to finish, just complaining about killers, complaining about perks, complaining about maps, just non-stop dogging the game the entire time. So I've been under the impression for this like years that I've played the game that Survivor's just not that fun because it's either solo queue or deal with those people whining non-stop. I've been playing in the last like 2 or 3 months with people who are silly, who will quite literally like throw the game just to try some really funny play. Like, oh, well, go for the CJ, go for the hot blocker. I'll try to go for the flashlight tip. Like, just really dumb stuff that's not efficient. That's just for the hilarity of it. And I have had more fun on Survivor and played more Survivor than I have ever played in the history of my career playing this game. Because, wow, when people don't freaking internalize all the stuff happening on Survivor, and it creates a nicer environment. And suddenly the game's way more fun. Who would have thunk? Now I play with people who, even if they're not having a good time, don't internalize it and don't take it so personally. And suddenly, I'm playing that role all the time. It's crazy how much it helps, doesn't it? Yeah. Stop taking things so personally in Dead by Daylight. You're ruining this community by doing it. Yeah. That's just where I'm gonna leave it because I've already ranted too much. But yeah, have you guys seen this out in the community? Do you feel the same as I do? Because I don't think I could agree with you if you don't. So I don't know why I asked, to be honest. I'm just mad. So yeah, tell me your thoughts down below. All that wonderful stuff, that YouTuber like farming the engagement BS that everybody says at the end of their videos. I don't even think that works. I don't know why they do that. But you know, I do upload daily though. So even though this video is ending, I will see you in the tomorrow zone. But if I do not, I will see you when I see you. Goodbye.